Welcome to day 10 of The Garden, the Curtain, and the Cross. Did you know that questions often have more than one right answer? Like, what if I said, why is it so bright outside? Well, it could be bright outside because the sun is shining. Or it could be bright outside because it's a full moon. Or maybe the streetlights are shining on your yard. Sometimes questions have more than one right answer depending on the situation. And today we're going to find out that there were two reasons to why Jesus died on the cross. Both of them are correct and both of them are true. So let's read on in our story. People still didn't want to let God be in charge. So they decided to put Jesus on a cross to die. It was the most bad thing that had ever happened. It was the most sad day of all time. But Jesus had a plan. He always had a plan. His plan was to die on the cross. What a strange plan. Why would God's Son plan to die? So let's talk a little bit more about that plan. After Jesus finished his meal with his disciples that we talked about a couple days ago, they went to a garden to pray. And while they were in the garden, some officers came and arrested Jesus, and they took him to a trial with the high priest. Now, during the trial, the high priest asked Jesus, "Are you the Son of God?" And Jesus said, "I am." Well, the high priest was so angry at Jesus' response that he ripped his clothes and he said, "I've heard enough. Lies. These are all lies." And after a long night of going back and forth, they decided to ask the people, "What should we do with this Jesus?" Now, the people replied, "He needs to be killed." These were the same people that had just a week earlier been cheering for him as he entered into their city. They were praising him for all of the wonderful things that he had done. And now they were standing in that town yelling to crucify him, to put him to death, to kill him. It just doesn't make sense to us. But their hearts were full of sin. And that's the first reason why Jesus had to die on the cross. Because people were not ready for God to be in charge again. They refused to believe that Jesus was God's Son. And so they wanted him to die on the cross. The second reason why Jesus had to die on the cross was because it was part of the big plan all along. God knew that people were going to continue to sin and that they needed someone to save them from their sin so that they could come and live with God in his good place once again. And so by Jesus dying on the cross, he took the punishment for all the sins that we do, that we did yesterday, and that we might do tomorrow. He covered them all. He took them all away so that we wouldn't have to be separated from God anymore. We're going to talk more about this over the next couple days, and I promise you're going to understand it so much better by the time we are done with this whole story. But we're going to stop there for today, and we're going to close our time with the word of prayer. So read along with me. Dear God, thank you for being in charge and rescuing us. Knowing that you did this makes me feel Amen.